go by now, I'd like to say how I feel inside. What I'm sharing, no one is caring. The hope has died. A wall of water in endless slaughter. Then there's AI. And with this knowledge, we'll build a new bridge. I'd like to dream. I'd turn off social, come out of my shell. I'd like to scream. I share some joy and offer up my hand. They strike it down. They leave a bottle, increase the throttle. I start to frown. Will AI save us from these times? Would it replace all of these rhymes? Will AI offer up its hand? And if we slapped it down, would it understand? And will the model O citizen ever stand up for what's right again? Or is this model over now, where we don't value life over the pretend? I share my feelings, have me reeling, cannot hide. Days go by now, I'd like to say how I feel inside. What I'm sharing, no one is caring. The hope has died. A wall of water in endless slaughter. And there's AI. Welcome back to my channel, everybody. It's another day, another beautiful day where we have an opportunity to share some kind of hope with one another. And I don't know about you guys out there, but for me, things feel a little bit hopeless at times. I see all kinds of interesting content on, let's call it social media, although we all know it's very antisocial lately in this climate that we're in, with the climate challenges that we've got going on, where we selectively handpick what we decide we want to wall off and protect from whatever we're protecting it from, and where we sometimes disregard the things that are entrusted to one another. Like, for an example, our feelings. Sometimes we disregard the feelings that we have for one another. And in that disregard, we end up saying things that basically only erode the possibility of establishing a foundation, where we only advocate for fighting and we never really try to establish a common ground. For me, my common ground with almost everybody is wildlife and nature. I love animals, I love plants, I love life. And because I love all of that, it's very difficult for me to bring myself to torture or hurt something that's alive. However, in the nation where I was raised, a lot of us were raised on the aspect of endless buffets, and the qualification was, well, that's basically what we were brought up with. Those are our rights. Now, the rights of all lives are absolutely something that matters. How we talk about these possibilities and inevitabilities, if we talk about these things, is something that is pretty much frowned upon in the nation where I'm at. If you say something that's in favor of peace, like for an example, on one of the channels that I look at, it's supposed to be about identifying serpents. And for whatever reason, a lot of people send pictures to these groups that show snakes on a glue trap, a big box store purchase that pretty much has been outdated for some time, and that should be outlawed for that matter. But for whatever reason, we continue to sell those products, even though they're extremely harmful and torturous devices. And so people share those insights, they share those pictures under the guise of, hey, I want to know what kind of snake this is, even though it's pretty much dead. And you get a rise, you get a set of commentary, a set of participants that either lends energy to you or takes away from it. But for whatever reason, when people poke things and agitate things, sometimes they get a rise out of that. And you can see that in a lot of our elected officials who constantly belittle and berate people that aren't the same as them. And you can imagine they don't really have a whole lot of genuine compassion for the life that they've been entrusted to safeguard. So I'm not saying that I'm perfect, and I know most of us are absolutely imperfect. And in those imperfections, we find ways to communicate sometimes. And it's usually because of chance encounters that we share the trails, so to speak. And for right now, what I'd like to share is some insight that I came up with based on someone leaving a glass bottle on my property, along with some other discarded rubbish. A lot of people tend to use part of my yard as a trash can for some reason, just like, the occasional person who walks their pet and doesn't pick up after their pet. It's a disrespect, it's a disregard, depending on where you live and what kind of guidelines there are, what kind of bylaws there are. If we give any regard to those bylaws whatsoever, that says only that we care about whatever we signed up to participate in. If we don't seem to adhere to those things, if we don't seem to try and resonate with one another in any particular way, then essentially maybe we have given up hope. I haven't given up hope. That's why I continue to use words and creativity and songs in my expression. Even though the times have been challenging, the best I can do is right now what I'm presenting to you. And I hope to do a lot better. However, for whatever reason, when I share things like this among my peers, both on this channel and elsewhere, it doesn't really go very far. It goes over, like someone told me in my last workspace, it goes over like a lead balloon. If you can imagine trying to sail a lead balloon overhead, it's not going to go very far. It's pretty much going to just drop like a lead balloon, a piece of stone. So if your heart isn't stone and you want to uplift someone, go on and share that with somebody in some way that's meaningful, and do your best to bring people out of their despair, because the world needs a lot more of that. I hope you're having a great day. Until next time, peace, love, and all that old school stuff.